Welcome to On God. I'm your host, alter ego number one, TV interviewer. And tonight we're going to have on our show Rev, the one and only. Thank you so much for being here, Rev. Great to have you. Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. And your studio looks strangely familiar, but nice decorations, by the way. Well, yes, we've actually had professional studio architects and everybody working on it for a long time. So, moving on to the next question. Rev, tonight I want to talk to you about Catholics and their deal with Mary. Okay, sounds great. I love talking about Mary and why she is important. Okay, so first off, do Catholics worship Mary and why? Well, that's a common misconception about Catholics because they actually don't worship Mary. There's a lot of misleading information because of all the statues and the prayers referencing Mary, and all Catholics are doing is simply saying that she's special in prayers like that, such as the Hail Mary. Yes, the Hail Mary, where Catholics pray to Mary. Well, actually, no, they're not praying to Mary in the Hail Mary. They're actually quoting the first chapter of Luke, verses 28 and 42, where the first one is Gabriel announcing the birth of Jesus to Mary, and the second one is Elizabeth when she is greeting Mary. Yes, and what about the statues and the Catholics praying to them? Well, they're actually not praying to statues. Of course, God prohibits the worship of idols in the Ten Commandments, and a representation of the person and a way to remember the life of the person, basically. Nothing more, nothing less. Well, what about the rosary? Aren't Catholics praying to Mary then? Well, actually, no. The rosary is just the recitation of the Hail Mary 10 times in a row, called a decade. And in between those decades, which there are five of, you contemplate and go over certain aspects of Jesus' life throughout the Gospels. Jesus, not Mary. Yes, Jesus. His life is the reason for the rosary. It is nothing but a remembrance of his life, the gospel story. This is very different from what has been said, even by a lot of Catholics. Well, yes, that's because many Catholics are unfortunately uneducated in their own faith. They mean well, they just don't know. Rev, I want to thank you for coming on and answering all these questions. And we want to wish you well. And wherever you are, stay warm. Thank you again. Well, yes, thank you for having me. And I'm glad I could come on. And I'm sure I will see you again sometime soon. Thank you again, and God bless.